Egged Israel Transport Cooperative Society Limited, a cooperative owned by its members, is the largest transit bus company in Israel. Egged's intercity bus routes reach most Israeli cities, towns, kibbutzim and moshavim, and the company operates urban city buses throughout the country and the West Bank. It also operates in Poland and the Netherlands through a subsidiary. Egged provides about 55% of Israel's public transport services, employs 6,227 workers and operates a fleet of 2,861 buses. Egged buses make 25,267 trips every day, transporting about 1 million passengers over 720,073 kilometers of roads. History. Egged was created in 1933 through a merger of 4 smaller intercity bus cooperatives in and around Tel Aviv. In 1942 it was joined with the bus company United Sharon. In 1951, Egged merged with the Northern Shahar Bus Company and the Southern Drom Yehuda Bus Company, creating a national public transportation network. In 1961, Egged merged with the Hamakasha Bus Company of Jerusalem. The name Egged was given to the cooperative by the Israeli poet Chaim Nahman Bialik. During the wars of 1956, 1967 and 1973, Egged buses and drivers helped to reinforce the logistics system of the IDF and drove soldiers and food to the battlefields. In late 2002, Egged sued the Palestinian National Authority and its chairman Yasser Arafat for compensation of damages and loss of income due to terrorist attacks and suicide bombings on buses during the Second Intifada, claiming that the attacks had deterred passengers from taking buses. On February 3, 2003, the Tel Aviv District Court ruled that Arafat has to pay Egged $52 million in damages for the loss of 1 year's income and $100,000 in court expenses. Despite deregulation attempts by the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, Egged is still Israel's largest bus company, is subsidized by the government, and still controls most of the intercity bus lines in Israel. Netanyahu's attempts were cut short by a bus strike that brought the country to a halt, and Egged's workers and directors declared that any further attempts to undermine the company's monopoly will be met with similar measures. However, in recent years, many bus lines have begun to be operated by smaller bus companies such as Dan Kavim, Superbus, Connex and others. In 2005, Egged and the Israeli government reached an agreement under which by the year 2015 subsidization will be reduced to specific sectors: the disabled, soldiers and students, and for certain equipment. Bus fleet. Egged's bus fleet include a wide variety of bus models of Mercedes-Benz, Volvo, DAF and MAN, including bulletproof versions used mostly for travel in the West Bank. Historically, the company also extensively used buses by Leyland, Neoplan, Jonquera International, Fiat and more. International ventures. Egged has purchased 51% of the Bulgarian Trans-Triumph Bus Company, which runs service to cities such as Varna and Sofia, as well as airport and tour buses for approximately €4 million. Egged, through its affiliated company, is responsible for the operation of half the public transportation in the city of Varna, the second largest city in Bulgaria with about 500,000 residents. Egged also formed a joint venture company with Rus municipality called Egged Rus JSC, which operates the public transport in the city of Rus. Egged operates some 1,400 buses in Poland, where it owns the Polish bus company Mobilize. It acquired for €4 million in 2006. The company operates some metropolitan bus routes, including exclusive franchises in Warsaw, Kraków and Bydgoszcz. Mobilize owns 117 buses, 60 operated for public transportation in Warsaw and the rest for special transports and tourism. Egged Bus Services also holds an 8-year contract worth about €500 million for public transport in the region Waterland in the Netherlands starting December 2011. The contract drew opposition from a local activist groups who accuse Egged of supporting Israel's settlements policy in the West Bank, and consider the company's winning the tender as indirect Dutch support for Israeli's settlements policy, according to reports by Radio Netherlands Worldwide. Egged's Dutch subsidiary denies being involved in politics. Jerusalem Light Rail. In October 2010, Egged bought Veolia's share in the Jerusalem Light Rail after a deal with the Danbus company fell through. Methadone routes. For the late 1990s until January 2011, Egged operated gender-segregated lines, commonly called methadone bus lines, mainly running in and or between major Haredi population centers. In these buses, men sat at the front and women were expected to wear modest dress. Quote, "The methadone lines were criticized after a woman, Miriam Shear, was allegedly assaulted for refusing to give up her seat to a male passenger and moved to the back of the bus." In January 2011, the Israeli High Court of Justice ruled that forced separation of men and women on buses was illegal but allowed voluntary separation for a one-year experimental period. The court, accepting the recommendations of an investigation committee, ordered the removal of signs designating buses as segregated and the installation of new signs informing passengers of the right to sit wherever they wanted. The Haredi public has requested to operate private bus lines, but they were blocked by the Transportation Ministry. Tourism. In later years, Egged Bus Cooperative has expanded its services through its subsidiary company Egged Tours by offering organized trips abroad for Israelis as well as daily tours in Israel for tourists. Egged Tours is an IATA licensed company which operates as a wholesale company for organized tours all over the world and Israel for groups and individuals. Its services include flights, organized tours, accommodation and trips all year round.